You're there in the dark, and suddenly, her. The message. That one. It flashed on the cold screen of your phone, illuminating your face in the dim light, the sound of the notification cutting through the silence and echoing like thunder. In your previously serene mind, you thought that door was locked, didn't you? The key thrown away, lost in the depths of an ocean of memories you tried, with all your might, to forget. And now, her name. That name that was once a sweet whisper, a prayer, maybe even a curse on lonely nights, followed by a "can we talk?" a simple "can we talk?" that triggers an internal earthquake. A cataclysm of emotions you thought you had tamed, controlled, overcome. She's back, yes, she's back. Regretful, maybe, missing you, who knows, looking for something only you can give, or maybe it's just curiosity, an echo of the past she can't silence herself. But the real question, the one pulsing in your veins right now with the force of 1,000 war drums is, what do you do now? What do you, man, do facing this ghost that rises from the ashes of a relationship that, for some reason, came to an end? Before impulse takes over, before anger, blind hope, or simple raw pain dictate your next words, your next steps, know this: there is a path, a different path, a path of strength, clarity, inner power, an inner fortress that can be built or perhaps just rediscovered right there inside you. A fortress forged with ancient lessons, tested in the fire of adversity by men who faced empires in ruins, exiles, unimaginable losses. Men who found serenity in the eye of the hurricane. This is not a guide on how to win her back at any cost, crawling for crumbs of affection. Nor is it a manual of revenge on how to make her pay for every tear, every sleepless night. No, that would be too small for you, for the man you are destined to become. This is a call for you, for your peace, for your sovereign decision, guided by Stoic wisdom, an ancient philosophy yet brutally relevant for the chaos of the modern world, for the chaos that might be simmering inside you right now. Prepare yourself, because over the next 30 days you won't just understand what to do with this message, with this situation. You won't just find an answer. You will transform in the process. You will emerge stronger, more centered, more you. A you who is not shaken by life storms, but learns to navigate them with the mastery of a seasoned captain. A you who is not a hostage to his emotions, but their master. A you who knows his worth and won't trade it for anything or anyone. Are you ready for this journey? Are you ready to reclaim your power? Then take a deep breath, because the journey starts now. First, before we dive headfirst into this whirlwind, before we dissect this message and what it truly means, it is crucial, absolutely vital, to lay the foundations of our mental training ground. Think of it as your private dojo, your sanctuary of transformation. In this universe of learning, growth, and rediscovery, we operate under 3 simple yet powerful rules. 3 pillars that will support your journey over the next 30 days and, who knows, for the rest of your life. Ignore them at your own risk. Embrace them, and you will see the magic happen. Rule number 1. Continuous recording. Yes, you heard right. Every guided reflection we do together, every insight that springs up in your mind like a fresh water source in the desert, every small victory over emotional chaos, no matter how small it seems, must be recorded. Where? In your Stoic reflections. Journal? That's right, a journal. It can be a physical notebook, one of those with a hard cover where you feel the pen glide on the paper, the smell of the ink, the texture of the pages. There's an almost mystical power in writing by hand, in transforming ethereal thoughts into concrete, visible, palpable words. Or if you're more of the digital age, it can be a secure document on your computer, tablet, or phone. A notes app. The important thing is not the medium, but the act. The act of writing crystallizes thought. It takes the confusion out of your head and puts it on paper, where you can analyze it, understand it, confront it. Your journal will be your silent confidant, your personal laboratory for mental experiments, your mirror of the soul. Do not underestimate the power of this practice. The great Stoics, from Seneca to Marcus Aurelius, kept journals. They knew that written self-reflection is the key to self-knowledge and self-control. So get your journal. Today. Now, if possible. This is your first practical step. Rule number 2, immediate action. Every practical challenge I propose to you, every mental exercise we explore, every small task that seems relevant to your growth must be attempted, experimented with, put into practice within 24 hours. 24 hours, not a minute more. Why? Because momentum is your most powerful ally on this journey. Inertia, procrastination, leave it for later. These are the enemies of clarity, the saboteurs of your transformation. When you feel the impulse to act, when an idea resonates with you, act immediately. Don't wait for motivation to arrive. Action generates motivation, not the other way around. Small, consistent actions day after day build mountains of progress. Remember, theory without practice is sterile. Knowledge without application is just a burden. So commit to action, commit to experimentation. Even if it feels uncomfortable, especially if it feels uncomfortable, that's where growth happens. And rule number 3, anonymous support community. You are not alone on this journey. Although the inner work is deeply personal, collective wisdom can exponentially accelerate your growth. Therefore, sharing difficulties, learnings, small victories, completely anonymously, of course, your privacy is sacred, in a dedicated forum, a safe space we will indicate, is strongly encouraged. Hearing the experiences of other men who are going through similar situations, or who have already gone through them, can bring valuable insights, different perspectives, and a sense of belonging that lightens the weight of the journey. Remember, we are social beings, and even the Stoics, known for their self-sufficiency, valued community and mutual learning. So when you feel the need, share, ask, contribute. The strength of the wolf is the pack, and the strength of the pack is the wolf. Rules understood? Continuous recording, immediate action, anonymous support community. Engrave them, live them, they will be your compass. Now, the tools. Besides your Stoic Reflections journal, which I've already mentioned and which will be your inseparable companion, we will use one more powerful tool, a guided meditation app. Yes, meditation. If you wrinkled your nose just now, if you thought that's not for me, hold on a moment. We're not talking about levitating or completely emptying your mind, which is practically impossible. We're talking about training your mind for equanimity, for emotional detachment, for mental clarity. An app focused on these aspects, guiding you through short sessions, 10-15 minutes a day, can make a brutal difference in your ability to handle stress, anxiety, and this emotional roller coaster her message likely triggered. Choose an app that resonates with you. There are dozens of them, many with free versions. Try a few, find a voice, a style you like. The important thing is regular practice. Meditation will help you observe your thoughts and emotions without identifying with them, without being swept away by them. It will give you that precious space between the stimulus, her message, a painful memory, and your response. In that space, my friend, lies your freedom, your ability to consciously choose how to react, instead of being a mere plaything of circumstances. So, Stoic Journal and Meditation app. These are your weapons. These are your tools for transformation. Commit to using them daily, even if just for a few minutes. Consistency is key. Now that we've laid the groundwork, the ground is prepared. The training field is set up. You have the rules, you have the tools. Are you ready for the next step? Are you ready to look at this situation with the eyes of a warrior, with the clarity of a philosopher? Then let's move forward. Second, let's dive into analyzing this situation. Her message, those few words that have the power to turn your world upside down. Can we talk? What does that really mean? The first temptation I know is to try to decipher her intentions, to spend hours, days, maybe weeks, dwelling on every possibility. Does she want to get back together? Is she regretful? Does she miss you? Is she just bored? Does she want to use you? Does she want to apologize? Does she want to hurt you again? The mind, in these moments, turns into a labyrinth of conjectures, each corridor leading to more anxiety, more confusion. But here enters the first great lesson of Stoicism, a lesson that, if you internalize it, will change your life. The poor dichotomy of control. Epictetus, a slave who became one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, taught us that some things are under our control and others are not. It's that simple. And most of our suffering, our anguish, comes from trying to control the uncontrollable, or from neglecting what we can actually control. What is under our control? Our thoughts, our judgments, our choices, our actions, our reactions, our will, our character. What is not under our control? The actions of others, the words of others, the intentions of others, the past, the future, at least not completely. What others think of us, her opinion, her intentions. That, my friend, is outside your control. You can speculate, you can create 1,000 theories, but the truth is, you will never know with 100% certainty what is going on in her head, in her heart. Trying to guess is a futile exercise, a waste of precious mental energy. Energy you could be using to focus on yourself, on your response, on your peace. So, the first step is to accept this limitation. Accept that you cannot control her intentions. Release this need to know. Release this obsession. This doesn't mean being passive or indifferent. It means being realistic. It means focusing your energy where it truly matters. On you. On what you can control. And what can you control here? You can control how you interpret this message. You can control your emotions, or at least how you deal with them. You can control your response. You can control your actions. Do you see the shift in perspective? The power returns to your hands. You stop being a victim of circumstances, of her actions, and you become the protagonist of your own story. Now about your emotions. It's natural that this message has stirred up a storm inside you. Anger, sadness, confusion, hope, fear, maybe even a hint of excitement. Don't deny these emotions. Don't try to suppress them. The Stoics weren't robots, without feelings. They felt deeply. The difference is they didn't let themselves be dominated by emotions. They observed them, analyzed them, understood them, and then decided how to act despite them. Use your Stoic journal for this. Write about what you are feeling. Name those emotions. Explore their roots. Where does this anger come from? Is it wounded pride? Is it fear of getting hurt again? Where does this hope come from? Is it genuine, based on facts, or is it a fantasy, an escape from reality? Be honest with yourself, brutally honest. No one else needs to read this. It's just for you. By writing, you begin to distance yourself from the emotions, to see them with more clarity, like passing clouds in the sky of your consciousness, instead of being the storm itself. And here, meditation also enters as a powerful ally. Practice, observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment, without clinging to them. Let them come and go. This will train your mind not to react impulsively. Remember, impulse is the enemy of wisdom. How many times have you regretted something you said or did in the heat of the moment? How many times has a thoughtless reaction worsened a situation that was already delicate? Don't make that mistake now. This message from her is a test of your ability to stay calm, to think clearly, to act with purpose. And you, my friend, are preparing to pass this test with flying colors. It's not about being cold or indifferent. It's about being controlled, about being master of yourself. Think about this. True strength is not in not feeling, but in feeling, and still choosing the wisest, most virtuous response, most aligned with who you want to be. So take a deep breath. Observe your emotions, write about them, meditate on them, but don't let them dictate your actions. Not yet. Before you even think about responding, before you even consider meeting, we need to strengthen you from within. We need to build that inner citadel I mentioned at the beginning. A fortress impenetrable to emotional storms, a refuge of peace and clarity in the midst of chaos. And that's what we will talk about next. But first, if you feel this content is helping you, if you're starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel, even if small, do yourself and other men who might need to hear this a favor. Leave your like on this video. Comment below with the word fortress if you are committed to building yours. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe and activate the notifications, because the journey is just beginning and you won't want to miss the next steps. Remember, the community, even if virtual, strengthens us, and your engagement helps us reach more men who need this message. Do it now. It's a small gesture that makes a big difference. Third, let's talk about building your inner fortress, your inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor-philosopher, spoke about this in his Meditations. He said that people seek retreats for themselves, houses in the country, beaches, mountains, but this is entirely unworthy of a philosopher, for it is possible at any hour you wish to withdraw into yourself. Nowhere does a person find a more tranquil or calmer retreat than in their own soul. Beautiful passage, isn't it? But how to do this in practice? How to build this fortress when the world seems to be collapsing around you, or when a simple text message has the power to completely destabilize you? The answer, once again, lies in Stoic teachings. And the first tool we will use to raise the walls of this fortress is premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. It sounds scary, I know. Premeditate evils? But I'm already suffering enough. Calm down. It's not about being pessimistic or attracting bad things. On the contrary, it's about mentally preparing yourself for adversities, for the worst possible scenarios, in order to reduce their impact should they occur. Think of it as resilience training. The Stoics believed that most of our suffering doesn't come from the events themselves, but from our surprise, our shock, our resistance to them. When something bad happens and catches us off guard, the blow is much stronger. But if we have already contemplated this possibility, if we have already mentally prepared for it, then, when and if it happens, we will be better equipped to deal with the situation with calm and rationality. How to apply this to your current situation? Well, think about the worst possible scenarios regarding this message from her. What's the worst that can happen if you respond? What if you don't respond? What if you talk? She might just want to use you for some selfish purpose. She might hurt you again. She might reject you. She might not be truly regretful. She might just be confused and leave you confused too. She might say things that get under your skin. Contemplate these scenarios, not with fear, but with curiosity, with the attitude of a strategist who analyzes all possibilities before the battle. And for each negative scenario, ask yourself, if this happens, how will I deal with it? What inner resources do I have to face this situation? What can I do to minimize the damage? How can I maintain my integrity, my inner peace, even if the worst happens? Write about it in your Stoic journal. Visualize yourself facing these scenarios with courage, with calm, with dignity. By doing this, you are in fact vaccinating yourself against future suffering. You are taking away the power of the unknown. You are strengthening yourself from within. And often by contemplating the worst scenarios, you realize they are not that terrible, or that you are much more capable of handling them than you imagined. This gives you a sense of control, of confidence. Another fundamental Stoic practice for strengthening your inner citadel is amor fati, or the love of fate. This is one of the most challenging but also most liberating ideas of Stoicism. It means accepting everything that happens in your life, the good and the bad, not with passive resignation but with active acceptance, and even with love. Nietzsche, who was greatly influenced by the Stoics, summarized this beautifully. My formula for greatness in a human being is amor fati. That one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity, not merely to bear what is necessary, still less to conceal it, but to love it. Wow. To love what happens even if it's painful, even if it's the end of a relationship, even if it's the confusion caused by an unexpected message. Yes, because resisting reality is the source of all suffering. Fighting against what already is like hitting a brick wall. You just hurt yourself more. Amor fati doesn't mean you shouldn't try to change things that can be changed, or that you shouldn't fight for your goals. It means you must accept what is outside your control, what has already happened, what is, and find a way to love this reality, to see the learning in it, to use it as fuel for your growth. Think about your past relationship with her. Think about the breakup. Think about this message now. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask yourself, what can this teach me? How can this make me stronger, wiser, more resilient? See every challenge, every obstacle, every pain as an opportunity to practice virtue, to exercise your inner strength. This is amor fati. It's transforming poison into medicine. And the third supporting column of your inner fortress is the Stoic, understanding of virtue as the sole good. For the Stoics, things like health, wealth, reputation, pleasure, and even relationships are indifferents, not because they have no value, but because they are not good in themselves. They can be used for good or for evil. They can be taken from us at any moment. The only true good, the only one that depends entirely on us and that no one can take from us, is virtue. And what is virtue for the Stoics? It is living in accordance with reason, with nature. It is practicing wisdom, knowing what is good, bad, and indifferent. Justice, treating others with fairness and compassion. Courage, facing fear and pain with firmness. And temperance, moderation, self-control. When you focus on cultivating these virtues in all your actions, in all your choices, you become invincible. Because your happiness, your inner peace, no longer depend on external factors like her approval, the status of your relationship, or whatever else. They depend only on your ability to act with virtue. That is true freedom. So ask yourself, how can I act with wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance in this situation with her? What is the most virtuous response? Not the easiest. Not the one that gives you immediate pleasure, not the one that massages your ego, but the most virtuous one, the one that leaves you at peace with your conscience, the one that makes you feel proud of who you are. This pursuit of virtue, this constant practice, is what builds the walls of your inner citadel, brick by brick. And make no mistake, this construction takes time, it takes effort, it takes discipline. There will be days when you falter, there will be moments when emotions will overwhelm you. That's normal. We are human. The important thing is not to give up. It's to get up, dust yourself off, and keep building. Use each fall as a learning experience, each challenge as an opportunity to strengthen your walls even further. And remember your Stoic journal and your meditation app. They are your allies in this construction. Use them daily. Record your progress, your difficulties, your insights. Meditate to cultivate calm, clarity, equanimity. And if you need to, seek the support of the anonymous community. Share your struggles, celebrate your victories. You are not alone. With time, with consistent practice, you will feel this fortress rising within you. You will begin to feel more centered, calmer, more resilient. Life's storms will still come, but they will no longer have the power to destroy you, because you will have a safe haven within yourself, a place of unwavering peace and strength. And when this fortress is solid, my friend, then we will be ready to talk about your decision, about what to do with that message. But first, the inner work. First, the construction of your citadel. Are you ready for this work? Are you ready to become the architect of your own peace? I believe so. Fourth, we arrive at the moment of decision, the sovereign decision. After having established the foundations of your mental training, having analyzed the situation through the Stoic lens of the dichotomy of control, having begun to build or reinforce your inner citadel through the premeditation of evils, amor, fati, and the pursuit of virtue as the sole good, now you are more prepared to face the central question. What do you do with that message? Can we talk? Respond? Ignore? Meet with her? Which path to follow? And here, my friend, there is no single right or wrong answer that works for everyone. The decision is yours, sovereign, personal, non-transferable. What I can offer you, what Stoic wisdom can offer you, are principles to guide this decision. Principles that will help you choose the path most aligned with your inner peace, your values, with the man you are striving to be. Remember what we said at the beginning. This is not a guide about winning her back or rejecting her out of revenge. If your goal in responding or not responding is to manipulate her, make her suffer, prove you're on top, or desperately try to rekindle a relationship that might not be healthy for you, then stop, breathe, and reevaluate your intentions. These motivations come from a wounded ego, from insecurity, from fear. And no decision based on these feelings will bring you lasting peace. The first question you must ask yourself with complete honesty is, what is my intention? Why do I want or not want to respond? What do I hope to achieve with this? Write about it in your Stoic journal. Be specific. If your intention is to seek clarity, understand what she wants, express your feelings in a mature and respectful way, or perhaps even offer or seek genuine closure, then that can be a solid basis for conscious action. But if the intention is to unnecessarily reopen old wounds, feed a drama that is already over, or seek external validation that only you can give yourself, then perhaps silence is the wisest answer. The second fundamental question is, which action is most aligned with my virtues? With wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance? Think about it. Would it be wise to get involved again in a dynamic that hurt you in the past, without anything having changed? Would it be fair to yourself to expose yourself to more pain if you are still healing? Would it be courageous to face this conversation, even if uncomfortable, if you believe something good can come from it, or that it is necessary for your healing process? Or would it be even more courageous to maintain silence if you know that is the best way to protect your peace? Would it be temperate to respond in a balanced way without getting carried away by emotions? Or would it be more temperate to completely avoid contact if you know you have difficulty maintaining control in this specific situation? There are no easy answers here. Virtue often lies in the middle path, or the more difficult path, the one that demands more of us. But it is the only path that leads to true tranquility of spirit, to eudaimonia, as the Stoics said. The third important consideration is, what are the possible consequences of each action or inaction, and am I prepared to accept them? Here premeditatio malorum returns, but in a way more focused on the decision. If you respond, what could happen? She might ignore you. She might be hostile. She might manipulate you. She might give you false hope. She might actually want to reconcile, and then what? Are you prepared for that? If you don't respond, what could happen? She might insist. She might give up. You might be left wondering, what if? You might feel relief. You might feel guilt. Think about all the scenarios, both positive and negative, for each option. And more importantly, ask yourself, can I handle these consequences? Can I accept them, whatever the outcome, without losing my inner peace, without straying from my path of growth? If the answer is yes, then you are closer to a conscious decision. Remember the dichotomy of control. You can control your decision and your action, but you cannot control the outcome nor her reaction. So choose the action you consider the most virtuous, the most aligned with your intentions, and detach yourself from the outcome. Do your best and accept what comes. That is acting with Stoic wisdom. Now, some practical tips, depending on what you decide. If you decide not to respond, or to respond briefly and assertively that you do not wish to talk at the moment or ever again, make sure this decision comes from a place of strength and clarity, and not from fear or repressed anger. Silence can be a powerful response, a way to protect your energy and your space, but it must be a conscious silence, not a reactive one. And be prepared to deal with the feelings that may arise, such as curiosity or doubt. Use your journal, your meditation, to process these feelings. If you decide to respond and talk, whether to seek clarity for closure, or even to explore the possibility of reconciliation, if that is genuinely what you want and believe is healthy, mentally prepare for this conversation. Define your boundaries. Know what you want to say and what you are not willing to accept. Stay calm, listen more than you speak at first. Try to understand her perspective without necessarily agreeing with her. Use assertive communication, expressing your feelings and needs clearly and respectfully, without accusations or blame games. And above all, remember your inner fortress. Don't let the conversation destabilize you. If you feel you are losing emotional control, ask for a break. Resume the conversation when you are calmer. Remember that you have the right to end the conversation at any time if it becomes disrespectful or harmful to you. And if the conversation leads down a path you don't want to follow, have the courage to say no, to reaffirm your boundaries, to protect your peace. Regardless of your decision, remember that the main objective is your well-being, your peace of mind, your growth as a man. It's not about winning or losing. It's not about her. It's about you, your journey, your integrity. And whatever your choice, learn from it. Use this experience as another step on your ladder of self-knowledge and self-mastery. And know that you don't have to make this decision alone in the sense of being completely isolated. Reflect in your journal, meditate, and if you feel the need, share your doubts and anxieties anonymously with the support community. Hearing other perspectives can help you see things more clearly, but in the end, the decision is yours. Trust your intuition, guided by reason and virtue. Trust your ability to make the right choice for you at this moment in your life. You are stronger than you think. You are wiser than you imagine. Believe in that and act accordingly. This is the moment to exercise your sovereignty, your freedom, your conscious masculinity. Fifth, what now? What happens after these 30 days? After the message, the analysis, the building of the fortress, the decision. Do you think the journey ends here? Not at all, my friend. This 30-day journey, this dive into Stoic wisdom, this confrontation with the past and your own emotions, is just the beginning of a new way of living, a more conscious, more resilient, more meaningful way. Think of these 30 days as an intensive, a boot camp for your mind and spirit. You've learned new tools, developed new skills, discovered an inner strength you might not even have known you possessed. But true mastery comes with continuous practice, with the application of these principles in your daily life, in all areas of your life, not just when an X rises from the ashes. Stoicism is not a philosophy to be studied only in times of crisis. It is a philosophy to be lived every day, in every interaction, in every challenge, in every decision. It is a path to the good life, to eudaimonia, human flourishing. So, how to maintain this Stoic mindset in the long term? How to ensure this transformation is not just temporary, a brief interlude of clarity and strength, but a deep and lasting change in your way of being and existing in the world. First, continue with the practices. Don't abandon your Stoic journal just because the immediate crisis has passed. Keep writing, reflecting, questioning your thoughts and emotions. Keep meditating, even if just for a few minutes a day. Meditation is like sharpening the saw. If you stop sharpening, it will become dull and useless when you need it most. Consistency is fundamental. Make these practices a habit, something as natural as brushing your teeth or taking a shower. They are the hygiene of your mind. Second, keep learning. Stoicism is an inexhaustible source of wisdom. Read the classics, Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius. Explore modern commentators, watch videos, listen to podcasts, participate in discussions with moderation and discernment, of course. The more you learn, the more deeply you will internalize the principles, and the easier it will be to apply them in your life. But remember, the goal is not to accumulate knowledge, but to transform yourself. So always ask yourself, how can I apply this in my life today? Third, seek virtue in everything you do. Remember, virtue is the sole good. In every situation, ask yourself, what is the wisest, most just, most courageous, most temperate action here? Make the pursuit of moral excellence your compass, your greater purpose. This doesn't mean being perfect, no one is. It means striving to be better each day. It means learning from mistakes and moving forward. Fourth, practice gratitude and amor fati. Even when things get difficult, and they will, remember to be grateful for what you have instead of focusing on what you lack. Be grateful for the challenges, because they are what strengthen you. Embrace your destiny, love what is, and find meaning and purpose in every experience, no matter how painful it seems. This attitude transforms your perspective and fills you with a serene and unwavering strength. Fifth, remember your mortality, memento mori. The Stoics often meditated on death, not to be morbid, but to live with more urgency and appreciation for the present moment. Knowing that our time is limited helps us focus on what truly matters, not to waste our energy on trivialities, to live each day with intensity and purpose. Don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today, the person you can become today. Sixth, cultivate healthy and meaningful relationships. Although Stoicism emphasizes self-sufficiency and inner strength, it also values community, friendship, love. Surround yourself with people who inspire you to be better, who share your values, who support you on your journey, and be that person for others too. Contribute to the common good. Practice empathy, compassion, justice in your relationships, and about her, the ex who reignited this journey. Regardless of the decision you made, whatever it is, apply these same principles. If you decided to go your separate ways, let it be with respect, with dignity, wishing each other well, even from a distance. If you decided to attempt a reconciliation, let it be with honesty, with clarity of intentions, with healthy boundaries, and with the awareness that your inner peace does not depend on her, nor on the relationship. Your happiness is your responsibility, always. This experience with her, this unexpected message, might have been a catalyst, a call to awaken, an invitation to a deeper transformation. Don't waste this opportunity. Use it as fuel to become the best version of yourself. The man you were born to be, strong, resilient, wise, virtuous. A man who is not shaken by life's storms but who learns to dance in the rain. A man who finds serenity in the eye of the hurricane. A man who lives with purpose, with passion, with integrity. This is the promise of Stoicism. This is the promise you can make to yourself. The journey doesn't end here. It's just beginning. And the future, my friend, is a blank canvas. It's up to you to paint it with the colors of your choice, with the colors of your soul, and I know I have faith that you will create a masterpiece, because you have the strength, you have the wisdom, you have the tools. Now go and live. Live with courage. Live with purpose. Live like a Stoic. And before we conclude, if this journey of reflection and discovery has touched you in any way, if you feel something has changed inside, or that you are ready for this change, I want to ask you one last thing. Share this video with at least one other man you believe could benefit from this message. A friend, a brother, a colleague, someone who might be going through a difficult time, or who simply needs a push to awaken the giant sleeping inside him. Remember the rule of community. Helping others on their journey also strengthens us. And if you haven't done so already, leave your final comment. What was the biggest insight you had throughout this video? What is the first step you will take today to build your inner fortress? Your feedback is incredibly valuable. And now, to conclude, remember that message, that name flashing on the screen, that internal earthquake. Look back at the man you were when that happened. And look at yourself now, even if only a few minutes have passed. Something has already changed, hasn't it? A seed has been planted. A spark has been lit. The decision about what to do with her, with the message, with the past is still yours, but now you have a map. You have a shield, you have a sword. You are no longer adrift, tossed by emotional waves. You are the captain of your soul, the master of your fate. This situation, no matter how painful or confusing it seems, is not a curse. It is a gift, an invitation to growth, to rediscovery, to freedom. Embrace it, use it, transform it. And always remember, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. The choice is yours. It always has been, it always will be. Go forward, be strong, be wise, be you, your best version. The world needs it, and so do you. Until next time, and may the force of the Stoics be with you.